Good morning.
Hey everybody.
So we're on our way to the boat. We've just stopped to get some breakfast. Cane cutters. So we had cane cutters with Indian food. So we're getting roti rolls,
Butter chicken.
roti rolls for breakfast. So we just,
Durban style.
yeah. So we just get it's nice and spicy, but we just stopped here to get our breakfast, and then we're on our way to the boat. Just have our breakfast, and then we'll start working. So we'll see you guys in a bit when we get to the boat. Cheers, guys. Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us this week, and it's very sad what happened to this vessel and to the owner. I don't have the full story. I have versions of the story, and there's too many versions to actually tell you exactly what happened. When I do find out, if I do find out the full story, I will come back and I'll tell you exactly what went down with this vessel. But I've only got versions of it, so we'll leave it at that. Enjoy. Look at my lovely assistant waiting for me. Okay, so let's have a little discussion about this boat. This vessel behind us standing on the trailer is aluminium. I'm not sure, I think it's like 35 feet, 32, 34, 35 feet, somewhere there. I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's an aluminium vessel, and I'm going to swing this camera around just so I can look you in the face when I talk to you. So this is the aluminium vessel. Belonged to somebody. This guy was out sailing and he passed away, natural causes, and the boat was adrift, and it ended up on running aground, and they found him, took him out, and then they recovered the vessel, and the vessel was in the harbor. I was running around, standing here, standing there for I think like 5 years or something. That it's just been running everywhere and standing around. And eventually they decided whose boat it is, who it belongs to now, and the new owner decided, well, it's too gone back. I mean, it was raining and it ran aground, it was up in the waves, and it's just everything's just rotted on the inside. Is an aluminium vessel, so he's pulled it out, and on Monday they're chopping it up and it's going for scrap.
And it's so sad to think it was somebody's dream, and somebody could have told a history about this boat, and now it's going to be demolished, and
it's sad.
It's very, very sad.
So in true fashion, you know us as sailing skulls, we really love to put a piece of every boat on our boat. So I've already been up. I've been up, and there is nothing that I can really use. However, there are 2 vents that I want to try and get off, the aluminium vents, and then there's 6 aluminium cleats that I'll take off, and we can use them somewhere. So we're going to be removing those, and before they chop it up, and then with permission, we've got permission to do it. So the guys have been scavenging on this the whole morning. Some guys have taken some hatches off and all that, but nevertheless we're going to remove some of that, so we've got something, and it's always going to be like a story point when we sail in one day. Of that cleat will be able to tell a story, and this is the story that it's going to be telling. Anyway, let's get that off. See you guys in a bit.
So currently we're on top of the boat, as you can see. This is what it looks like. Everything is rotten, gone. The mast is sold to somebody. Inside it is yucky. I'm not going to go inside. But yeah, sad. This is so sad. So there is the one vent Shane was talking about, and here's a possible second vent that he might be taking out. So let's do this.
Hi everybody. Okay, so I need some advice. We're nearing the end of the aft cabin and the head, the V-berth side, and that head over there that we're busy building. Then we have to come here to our engine room. This will be our, and that side where there were going to be bunk beds, that's going to be like a storage area for us, and we're going to have our fridges and freezers all over there, water maker all on the other side of the cockpit. But I have to put up a bulkhead here. So my original plan was to put the bulkhead from here. So this is the seat outside for the cockpit, and this is the cockpit itself. So I was going to put a bulkhead in here down to the bottom, alright, and then build a cupboard out about this far out. Would have been a cupboard, and this would be our walk space here between this cupboard, and the kitchen counter would come out until about here. So this will be our walk space that we had. However, this whole bulkhead that's going in here behind, this is going to be inside the cupboard. So if the cupboard was here and you'd open the cupboard door, that bulkhead would run up until here going down. So I was wondering, when I was looking now, shouldn't we rather put that bulkhead under the cockpit here down? So we build the bulkhead underneath here. If you put a bulkhead here, because this is skewed, you're losing that space there, and you're wasting all this wood that's going up there, which is adding weight and everything. And it's also just to stiffen up the cockpit, right? But if we put it underneath here, then we're not wasting all the timber from here to there, which is actually doing nothing. It's just covering up here. And here comes the interesting part. If it runs underneath here, and we tab it in here down to the floor, which is going to hold it because it's going to be a box and our engine is going in there. On this side we put in a cupboard, but on the other side we're not. So we could even put a little port light in here. Alright? So even if we did build a cupboard here, right, we could still have maybe a port light in here which we could open, and you could from the galley pass the stuff through the port light to the cockpit. I don't know, it's just a thought. Tell me what you guys think. What would you do? Would you put it under the seat, the bulkhead, running down, wasting this timber, or should we just, it's just going to move in like 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters in, and then we just put it in here, down to the bottom, and we tab it over here in. It's still going to miss the cockpit drains, right? But we just put it straight in here and tab it in here. It's still going to do the same structure. It's going to have the same strength, whether it's tabbed in at the bottom or the top. It's just, this is going to be saving material and weight, and you're not going to see it from this side because it's going to be behind the cupboard. On the other side you'll see the material, but that's not even in your bedroom or anything. It's in the storage area. So it's like a pantry, so it's going to be in the pantry. Do we really need it to look that pretty in the pantry? I'm thinking we just put it straight down here, and it's going to give it that same support, and we're going to save this whole piece of material. Give us your thoughts in the comments.
Help! So we're busy making our cupboard again here with our famous popsicle sticks. So this whole section there where Shane is busy is a built-in cupboard.
Okay, so we've made this cupboard, and this is just a piece of fiberglass that we're going to put in here. We're going to tab it in here. This is marine ply, 12mm. We're going to cut out a door here for it, and then I'm going to put this louver door, salvaged rubbish bin door that we got. We're just going to have to clean it up, varnish it, and we're going to install it here, a louver door. It's going to have a shelf on the inside, and then we're going to close up here. There's going to be another cupboard here with 2 doors here. Same louver doors as this. We're going to put in 2 louver doors here. And then the building of the head should be finished, and then we can start sanding it down and painting the whole thing out. And the whole thing gets painted out with pool coat to seal everything off. We're going to shove a port light in here, so it's going to still come a nice port light in here. And as you can see, the bucket that I'm sitting on is going to represent our toilet. So this will be our toilet, shower area, wash basin. The handle will be here. So you'll just grab this wand and we'll have somewhere to hook it, and you can shower.
So Shane is busy fiberglassing.
Yeah, and what did you do? Show them what you done.
Nothing?
Show them what you done.
Oops, I did it again. Okay. Shane doesn't know how bad this is as yet. Check there. There. And there. So, yeah, it is what it is. Boat life.
Boat life.
Hi, babes.
Yeah, boat life.
Boat yard tattoos.
Hi there, everybody. So, I think you guys are wondering where we are, but we're still by the boat. We're still working on the boat. However, it's not easy. We've had terrible rain nearby us. It was just stopping us from working. So we've been doing little bit. The rain's been stopping us a lot. We can't control the weather. And you'll see in this video, I asked about this bulkhead. I'm going to swing this camera around quickly so you can see better. Oh, that light is terrible. So let me swing this camera around. So I was asking about this piece, to put this piece up in. Should we do it on top or should we do it at the bottom? Okay, let me show you. So I've tabbed it in here already. And it's in, I know it's in this episode. This is going to be in one episode. So early on you would have seen I asked you about this and your opinion. Well, you don't have to give your opinion because here it is. I've tabbed it in already. Or fiberglassed it in. But this is solid. There is more that's going to come in here. So there's another piece to come in. So you see that gap that I was talking about? So it meets up on top. That's where I've tabbed it in, and then it makes a gap there. So however, if I did put it at the bottom and we put it over here, then it was standing too skew. So if you stood here, it was too skew and I didn't like it, so I just went with straight on down. So it is fiberglassed in here at the bottom. That's all tabbed in, fiberglassed in. And then I put foam underneath, made a little corner, and we fiberglassed it on there. So it's actually kind of strong because it's holding here, at the bottom and holding on the top, so it's a lot stronger. At least the board is straight, so it looks a lot better. And that's what we're going with. So this is what we're going to go with. We're going to go with it like this. Sorry about that, but while we on it, still this forward head, all the glass work is done here. Everything's done. So the next step will be to sand this whole head back and paint it. And then we still got to get the remember I'm making a multi-door here. So then we're going to get that door, and then we can get paint and floors in, and then this whole section will be done. And we'll be done with the front section, and then the aft cabin is also done. Oh, that light is a bit bad there. See if I can get rid of that light there, but so I cut that section out that was sticking out there. I cut that out, I filled in foam, and then I just glassed over there, so that's glassed in. And then we had the big gap here, so I just put a radius in there, glassed that, so that's done. And this I glassed in last week, and there, and this I done this morning. There's still peel ply on it. That's a little bit tacky, and I've done it all around, so it's all in. That's the back little cupboard behind the basin. So this basin is in, this bathroom is done. So I think I've got 1-2 spots just to put pieces of glass in, but it's basically done. And we're going to cut a big hole in there, just the inspection hole. And there's going to be an inspection hole there. Toilet's going to come on this side, so on this side there'll be nothing, but on that side there'll be an inspection hole, just to see the pipe work and the stuff behind. Nothing too major, but that's basically how far we are with these two heads. It seems like we're never getting finished, but basically Leonie's outside busy sanding those two doors. That must go in over the two little cubby doors that go in there. And she's also sanding the vent that I'm going to put in there, because I'm going to put a little vent on that opening there. But then once this is all dry, we have to sand this all back, gets painted, and it's done. Yeah, so that's about how far we are. But yeah, I think I'm finished talking. I talk too much crap. But anyway, you guys know how far we are. Like, share and subscribe.